First of all, Alex, a lot's been sort of made of you finally fighting in Australia after a long time. But I'm curious, now that Fight Week's here, how much better is it for you actually having a home game like this?
It is a lot better. Like obviously the travels and everything, it's easy. Obviously, communications. We've everyone around here as well is easy. Like with management, living here and people that we know and being here previously and all that type of stuff. So that's cool. But not just that. Obviously, man, it's just awesome. The Aussie fans again. We deserve. I deserve it. The Aussie fighters deserve to be fighting here in Australia and the fans deserve us having fighting here as well. So it's definitely good. You can feel the hype. The Aussies are absolutely loving that we're fighting over here. So I can't wait to put on a show.
Today we had the welcome to the country ceremony, which actually was pretty cool to watch. I don't know if you felt the same. I thought it was a bit weird that Islam didn't go.
Yep.
There's a ceremony to welcome you to the country and you decided to skip it. I'm curious if you felt there was a little bit of disrespect there, or what did you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know the full story. I'm trying to be. I guess I'm trying to be nice about it. But for me, I respect the culture here. I respect the culture all around the world. You know what I mean? If I know I would turn up to anything like that. Just to show some respect. Again, I don't know the full story, but I was pretty surprised and disappointed he didn't turn up.
And I'm not trying to just pile on Islam here, but obviously he has said some stuff about the promotion of this fight. This is obviously a moment that he could have been there to promote it. Again, with that in mind, are you even more sort of like, what are you doing then? Where are you?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, a little bit. You're right, he did say that, I think, I don't know, when he said that, I guess I was like, oh, yeah, a bit, but usually they start really hyping it up, the week of, obviously after the events, they don't want to start hyping it up while there's an event that weekend, especially because there was an event the last weekend. So it's all good now. It's all starting to happen. And again, if you did feel that way, when they do some things for you to hype up the fight, or if they do some media obligations, turn up then. You know what I mean? If that's what you're really thinking.
I saw your chat with him in DC. He was a bit more chirpy than I was kind of expecting, to be honest. He actually had some funny lines and stuff like that. Were you a little bit surprised, or were you kind of expecting that maybe, everyone's talking about the Habib thing not being there. Were you maybe expecting he was going to try and push himself and become sort of more of a character that way?
Oh, yeah, you probably, hit the nail on the head there. I don't know, man. It's probably him. Again, it's not like there's it's obviously pretty friendly banter, pretty fun, but I still feel like there's a smirk there. There's a cockiness I feel, which is good. You know what I mean? Which is fine. Okay, because I've slapped and knocked smirks off people's faces many times before, so I look forward to doing that again. He can say his jokes and sort of play it this. It's just going to be more embarrassing for him when things go my way, because that's exactly what I plan on doing, going out there and doing my thing. And he wants to push these narratives of me being short and not having wrestling and all that type of stuff. That just makes my victory bigger, and then makes your loss even worse. So I can sit there and who's going to have the last smirk? You know what I mean? That's after the fight, I'll be the one smirking.
He mentioned, he wasn't scared. I'll stand up with you. I'll stand up with you. Let's say then, for the first round, for example, he does stand up with you, and you see that, okay, he wants to be up here. When he then starts shooting for takedowns, would you have a mental moment in your head where you're like, see, you tried and you couldn't do it?
While I'm fighting, I would expect him to do that anyway. Even if I'm touching him up, I'll be waiting for it. When I say waiting for it, I'll be expecting him to do it anyway. I just play what's in front of me, so I wouldn't be thinking like that. I'll probably have while I'm touching him up, and then you see him shooting, I was like, I probably would in there to be like, oh, that didn't last long. You know what I mean? But again, I'm that's just all talk. He knows that's not what he wants to do. He's got a game plan. Even if he's striking isn't, I think he wants to prove that he does have striking, because everyone thinks it's underrated and whatnot. It's and even if you do have a bit of striking, that's not a good idea to strike with me. We know his main game plan is to grab a hold of someone and take him down. That's what he does. And if he chooses not to do that, that'll quickly change.
I think you're one of I say this because one time, I think last time we did an interview, I was in your room. the DC show where he talks about he broke down your fight with Max Holloway, and I got to watch you watch that, and I really had the appreciation. You might be one of, if not the most cerebral fighter on the roster, like the way you were. Not that DC will care to hit this, but there's moments where you're like, he's breaking down this bit, but he's not breaking down the bit that got to that bit. So with that in mind, when you look at Islam, what are you seeing that other people aren't? What is the one thing you've picked up on when you watch him that you think, I think there's, not that you might not want to reveal it, but there's an avenue to success here that other guys haven't noticed?
Oh, man, like, obviously you can't give too much away, right? But, I mean, again, like, I notice what he's good at and all that type of stuff. Like, people see that, but, I mean, they see that and think there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. I was like, trust me, there's things you can do about it. And then in striking, obviously, there's things that we will see. He's a calculated fighter. He's not going to put himself out of position because he doesn't take too many risks. So, that's just how they are. They calculate. He knows where he's strong and knows where he wants to be. So him telling me or saying that he's going to strike with us, it's full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, because that's not how he fights. He's very, very safe in his approach and all that type of stuff. So we know what he's going to want to do. And if he starts doing that, he's going to get uncomfortable and going to stick to what he feels is best. But again, when things aren't going to plan for him as well, he's going to want to grab a hold of him. He's going to find that hard. Even if he does grab a hold of me, he's going to be like, fuck, this little prick is strong. He's like, if he does get me down, he's going to get straight back up. You know what I mean? It's just going to make him even more uncomfortable and panic shoot even more. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Because again, it just seems like that smirk on his face and the way he is. He literally, like, whether he does believe it or whether it's just, like you said, him trying to promote the fight or whatever. It's just, it's gonna be funny to see that smirk, change real quick.
The Khabib thing's a funny one, right? Because if Khabib was in his corner, the storyline would be like, Khabib's never had a fighter lose, right? Now, Khabib's not in his corner. It's almost like, how's he going to fight? Do you, as someone, you've got great guys like Joe in your corner, can that really make the difference? Can that win the fight? Or is it basically, it's you and him in there and this other stuff's just kind of fucking whatever?
Look, man, in preparation and all that type of stuff, obviously you want a good team around you and all that type of stuff. It's good to have a good corner and all that. But at the end of the day, we know what he wants to do. We know his game plan. You know what I mean? And he's going to do that, just because someone's not there, like, he's still going to turn up. Like, it's still him doing everything in there, right? He'll be fine. So the same Islam's going to turn up, and people better not fucking use that as an excuse when I get my hand raised.
I love how you're like, because you sort of relish being the underdog. You love proving people wrong. You always have. And so now you're already setting yourself up for being pissed off after the fact.
Like, don't you see, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, again, like, there's narratives and all this bullshit and all that type of stuff. Sweet. Again, just make my victory bigger. But don't go changing that shit.
When you fought Max the third time, there was a moment in the fight where you went, I'm too quick for you. Yeah. Is there a moment in this fight on Saturday or Sunday morning where you go, I'm too strong for you?
Mate, for sure. And I'm going to say it to him. You know what I mean? I'm going to let him know. I'm going to make him, when he's trying to grab a hold of me, he's like, I'll let him know. I was like, nah. Or even if he, it'll be good to even, if he does grab a hold of me, or even if he does get me down and me just, bounce back, or like, I'll be more than happy with that. Even to get taken down, bounce right back, I'll be happy with that, just to be like going, I was like going, I thought you were going to hold me down easy. We just let him know. I'll be going, all right, let's see. Let's see how much you're panic shooting now. Let's watch it. I love seeing people's face freak out like that as well, because I noticed that. I'm very composed in there, and I can see it. And I can see their eyes, their puzzle in their face and all that type of stuff. So, again, he was smirking last week when we did that interview, but that smirk's probably already stopping now because he's cutting weight. So he probably won't be the chirpy, smirky type of guy.
To be fair, that might be why he didn't come to the ceremony today. Maybe
that could be too, right? Like, again, that's why I'm not going to put words and say he's disrespecting and things like that, because we don't know the story. But yeah, we all know he's going to be cutting weight. So he won't be smirking too much this week. I don't think he's got a lot in his hands just making weight. I just hope he makes it healthy. And so let's see what happens with that.
I didn't really think about it until you were just talking then, but I imagine there will be a moment in the fight where he gets a takedown and you get back up and the crowd will fucking lose their shit that you got up. And I think that moment, like, I don't know, for me, I just had a moment of like, that could swing a fight,
I'll be laughing. I'll be smiling, I'll be smirking. You know what I mean? Like, again, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to get me there, but then again, like, to hold me there and all that, just totally different. Like, again, it would be good to just obviously, like, I'll sit there and, even if they do get in, like, because we've been doing late stage submissions and all that type of stuff, it would be good to just, again, you don't want to be in them positions, but I'd sort of like and just be like going, often, like say he's got an arm triangle, I'm like, fuck, is that all you got? You know what I mean? I was like, I've been put in these positions all camp. This is
Craig Jones doing some work, huh?
Like, this is the weakest piss to what I'm used to. You know what I mean? Like, again, just to have a little bit of a laugh with it and all that type of stuff. Again, I've got a lot of respect for the guy. Yeah. I'm expecting him to be strong and all that type of stuff, but I'm not expecting him to be something that, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, he thinks, oh, everyone, as soon as they feel it, right, yeah. I'm not everyone. I'm not the same guy as you are. Like, I do the same thing, maybe in a different way to other people too. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. Like, nothing surprises me. We prepare how we're meant to prepare. You know what I mean? I'm the type of guy I prepare for the worst. And again, the worst that he can give me, I'll be more than ready for, because I put myself in them positions every day in the gym. So there won't be no surprises for me. Even if he ends up being really strong, so you're not going to see me panic. You know what I mean? You're not going to see. You'll see a smile on my face. You'll see all that, and I can't wait.
We'll end on this, and I don't want to put this out there too much into the universe before Saturday/Sunday. I believe there's a world where you beat Islam, you defended both titles back and forth, and then in a couple of years you'll be like, no one's ever won 3. Is there ever a chance that you think, Leon, maybe?
Like me, like it's funny. Like, obviously, like, where you don't see it, like you said, you don't see it in the near future. Right now, I want to keep 2 divisions busy. But for people have said that, because I obviously want to separate myself from the rest. They say it's like, you never know, right? You never know. I will never say it's definitely not going to happen. But I mean, maybe not this year.
I can't say I know you like amazingly well, but I feel like I know you enough to be like, you're that competitive. If you have 2, you're definitely going to be like, fucking, let's go for 3.
Mate, like, 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 100%. Like, I'd love to do that. And I fought there a few times and all that type of stuff. But and I'm telling you, like, it would be the same as how if I choose to do that. This is what's different to me to a lot of people, and even your Islams. Yeah, cheers, mate. Even
doing an interview over here.
Even your Islams and all that. A lot of people, like, you're making a mistake, or like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a terrible, like, that's a coward way of looking at it. It's like, what, you've never challenged yourself? Yeah, you're picking easy fights. Is that what you're telling me? Well, that's weak. You know what I mean? That shit's weak. Even if I do choose to do 170, I ain't going to look at who it is and all that. It's going to be whoever the champion is at the time. Yeah. Whether they're a full-blown, twice-the-size monster wrestler, that's the guy. If my goal is to do 3 belts, I don't care who it is, I'll do it, right? Like, if that's my choice, that's just who I am. Yeah. Where with these guys, again, they can say, oh, I'm the same. No, you're not, because you're telling me you're trying to tell me I'm mad for doing it. That just shows me how weak you are, and that's not how weak I am.
You don't get nicknamed the Great unless you dare to be great.
Exactly right. Dare to be great. You know what I mean? The great's good, but we're looking for greatest.
We'll end on that.
That's right.